Good evening and welcome along to AFTV News Daily. And we've got a special guest with us today. We got Claude.
How you doing, Claude? Robbie, how are you, mate? How are you? All right.
Listen, we got a clap, yeah? It's 8 o'clock Thursday.
Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that.
Big up the NHS, man. Big up the NHS doing an outstanding job. You know what I saw, I think it was yesterday, that over 300 people, 300 NHS and care workers have actually died from the coronavirus. So when we talking about, you know, them putting themselves on the line, they really have put themselves on the line. It's been,
yeah.
And also, you know what, on that, Claude, remember a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago now, remember we did the 24-hour thing to raise money for the NHS, 24-hour stream. We've raised over, I think we're just like collating now all of what we raised, but we definitely raised over 20 grand. So
well done, everyone.
Yeah, well done to you. Well done to you, because you was a massive part of that. You featured on like literally everything. You know what I mean? You're a soldier. You know. I was even the other day. I was watching back. There was a video, a road trip video, right? And
oh yeah. Oh, but I got a boat with you. You had to pick that bit. Why you had to mention about my wallet? The whole world knows about that now.
That was funny though. I remember that trip. That was the one we was driving, and there was that narrow road. Remember? And you was going, "Don't go."
Oh, I thought he was going to go through it. I thought
yeah, and you lost it. You lost your wallet on the first day of the.
Playing in Monaco, we've ended up in a hotel in Italy. Yeah, brilliant, fantastic.
That was no.
Mind you, that was some hotel, weren't it? That was really.
You must be.
That was really posh. That was like the Hilton. That one, that hotel,
yeah,
wasn't it?
It was nice. It was nice. You must be the first person, right? I know that's been to Monaco and lost all his money before even going into a casino. Hey, you know the other thing about that. You know the other thing about that Monaco thing, and you know, I always I don't know if you remember this, right? But we went into, there was this restaurant there. It was like a restaurant and grill place right by the harbour where all the big yachts and that are. And like,
is that the one where we didn't play? Oh, sorry, yeah.
Let me give everybody the story. So we're all in there now, right? We're all in there, right? And Monaco, anybody who's been to Monaco knows, right, that it is not a cheap place. That is not a cheap place. It's pretty expensive, right? And we're in there now, and there must be about 10 of us in there, and we're all having like a big meal. Like it was this place, it was like a steak and grill place. We got steaks, we got chicken grilled, we got, you know, and then, you know, lovely meal, man, lovely meal. About 10 of us before the, like a pre-game meal sort of thing, right? And then we're all sort of outside chilling and stuff like that and talking, and then we went off to the game. And then about half an hour after we left the place, somebody goes, "How much was that place? How much was the building?" And like, I go to Claude, "How much was the bill, Claude?" Claude goes, "Oh, didn't you pay for it?" I go, "No." And then I turn to the next person, "Did you pay for it?" I go, "No." We didn't pay. We walked out of that place. Nobody paid, right?
Having said that, we did go back the next day and pay it, didn't we? Someone went back. I remember someone going back the next day and paying it. No, someone did, yeah. I don't know who it was.
What, paid for who? Everybody?
I think Mo did. Mo did. No, Mo did.
I can imagine Mo doing that. I can imagine Mo doing that. I thought we were fugitives from that place, but I'd be looking for us even now. But
no. It wasn't on purpose. It's just that we all thought someone else had paid, didn't we? And that's it.
Yeah. That's what you said anyway. But anyway, Claude, listen, it's looking like football now.
As you know, you've got short hands and long pockets, isn't there? So
anyway,
let's go.
You're talking about time. You're talking about time.
Yeah, old fatty time. Well, don't start me on tie when it comes to going for a meal. God. Yeah. Anyway,
but football's looking like it's coming back. Danny Ceballos let it slip in an interview, basically they were talking to him about, and he let it slip. He said he's coming back on the 20th of June. So, bar there being any sort of new cases or anything like that, it does look like he's coming back. They've tested 748 players and officials around it. They got 6 tests back positive. Only one of them was a footballer as well. So it looks like we are going to have a return to football behind closed doors. And as I said, Danny Ceballos letting it slip today that the 20th of June, where there was a lot of talk about the 12th of June, but they're saying the 20th of June. And that seems sensible, doesn't it, Claude, to do it by then? You with me?
Yeah, but it's not confirmed by the Premier League, is it?
Not yet, but, you know, he's let it slip. I think it's something that they were all sort of told to keep quiet. But he's let it slip that it's the 20th of June that it's coming back. So he's coming back. I mean, did you see any of the games at the weekend in Germany?
I was doing the watch-alongs. Was it done both 2 watch-alongs? I think.
Yeah. What did you make of it?
2 watch-alongs.
What did you make of it?
It's not the same, is it? I mean, I was bored actually watching it. The first game I watched, it was very slow pace, and it looked. I understand that because they've not had no pre-season games, have they? So they've not got no match fitness at all. They're straight in from training. So it's going to be difficult for them to play at fast. The Bayern Munich game was good, though. I mean, that was a good game. I thought the other team gave them a good impression. And they until the second goal, that could have been that could have gone either way.
That's my adopted team, Union Berlin. I said that's my adopted team, Union Berlin.
Oh, right. Yeah, they put up a good performance. I thought they played quite, but they just didn't have that in the final third, did they? They had nothing in the final third. But Bayern Munich, I thought was quite played well. I thought Dortmund, even though they were in second gear, they done enough to win the game. They looked impressive. So it's going to be between them two, isn't it? I think for the title. I've got to say. I didn't like that. It's not the same, is it? It's like how can you say it? It's like making love with someone you love, yeah, and going with a prostitute. You know what I mean? It's like something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Where you get these? Where you get these analogies from?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say. That's what it meant. It's not the same for me. It's you know what worries me, Robbie, about this whole thing as well. Now is apparently next season. I was told someone heard something from inside the club that there would be no away fans at games next season. When they start letting people in, and season ticket holders were because they're going to reduce the capacities. And half the season ticket holders will be given one set after games, and the other set will get the other half. This is what I've been told. That's how they're going to reduce the capacities and everything like that. And there will be no away fans at games. So
again,
that's I don't like all that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Do you think like if it came back like that, people's going to start getting put off for just going all together and might just say, you know what, may as well watch it at home? Or do you think that people will be desperate to get back to the stadium when it eventually does?
Well, it's going to kill a lot. It's going to kill the game, yeah, because I think a lot of games, well, when it's, how can I say it? At the moment with the empty stadiums, it's going to be
behind closed doors.
Every game is going to be live. Every game is going to be live, but on different channels, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even there might be some free views as well on BBC. Might get a couple of games as well. So that's good. So everyone can see the games. That would be good. But as I say, it's not that I don't like it. I'd rather, to be honest with you, Robbie, I'm going to say this. I'd rather we wait till we're allowed in the grounds and back again than. I even go and say
that could be like that could be a year or so. That could be like a year and a half.
Well, Robbie, but it's not. No. It's all ridiculous. You know what got me on Saturday? I was watching that, right? Why did the subs, right, apart from each other, right?
Yeah.
While the game was going on, yet they've got to go on the pitch anyway and make contact anyway eventually. So what's the point of having them 1 minute with masks on and all that, and then the next minute they've got to go out on the pitch? I don't get all that. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did notice that. I mean, I suppose, listen, they're just trying to take as much precautions as they possibly can. It does. It's weird, yeah, because you, like you said, you know, I mean, you're apart there, but then you're going to go on the pitch and you're going to come into contact with players. You know, what I mean, there was one game where a player scored a goal and a guy kissed him. You know what I mean? So it's very hard to socially distance people. And the thing is as well, that I think because I don't know if you saw that footballer Mariappa, the one who plays for Watford, who tested positive for the coronavirus, but he had no symptoms at all. He says he doesn't even feel unwell. There's nothing wrong with him, absolutely nothing wrong with him, but he's tested positive for the coronavirus. So again, that's the thing about this thing. You can be walking around with it and you don't even know because you feel fine. And you know, I mean, we know why they're having to take these measures, but it is going to be damaging to the game. I mean, do you feel that when you're watching your own team, because you're more invested in your own team, you'll enjoy it more? Because if you're watching Arsenal, you're going to be more invested.
I agree with you, because it's German. Because we've got no interest in it was hard. That is another thing. It might feel different when you are watching your own team play.
Yeah.
Even then, I don't know. No, I don't feel it. I don't feel it at all. I rather than just cancel the league, give Liverpool the league, go on positions, and then if they can start next season. Even next season, you can't start, can you? So I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. How do you feel? Do you feel? How do you feel? Because
I feel it's better than nothing, right? So you know, I feel that they've got to do something. They've got to play games, because otherwise you're going to see clubs start going under. We can't just wait until we've got a proper vaccine. We've got you know, it's a bit like everything else in society, isn't it? Everything else in society, they're trying to get things back. So, you know, you're seeing people now having to go back to work. You're seeing, like, you know, people who work on building sites and things like that, they're going back to work. Today I went to a tire place today because I need a tire on my car. They were open, and the guy said to me, they're open and they're working, right? They're carrying out socially distancing and they're trying to do as best as they can, but they're open back. So if everybody else is sort of opening back where you can't work from home, then I think it's the same for footballers. They can't work from home either. So if it's a safe environment, and I don't like behind closed doors, it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. As I said, I'm just wondering if when it's Arsenal, when I'm watching an Arsenal game, and even other teams, even when I'm watching other teams in the Premier League, because I know the players very well, because I know the teams very well, because I know, you know, I'm used to watching it week in, week out, I'll be more invested in watching those games. And remember, when it does come back, all of these games are going to mean a lot. So when every game that Arsenal play behind closed doors is going to mean a lot, because they can't afford to slip up if they're going to try and get into the top 4 or the top 6. So, and yeah, the league will be over, but there's all the games down the bottom are going to mean a lot, because there's a lot of teams that could still get relegated. There's a lot of teams that can still get in the top 4 and top 6. So you might find that you enjoy it a bit more than what you think. You might initially think to yourself, oh, I don't want to watch this, but there's so much riding still on a lot of the games that are going to come that you might be surprised and enjoy it a bit more than what you think. But honestly, I just hope some sort of vaccine or something, because I just want to return to the days where we can just go to a game of football, you know, and just as a big crowd and watch it and enjoy it, and the camaraderie, and, you know, I'm just missing it so badly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know when we'll get back to all that, because as you say, even when they're going to let people in, they're going to make reduced capacities. until it's. I suppose until they find this, even with the vaccine. I mean, if they get the vaccine in, I think maybe even then. I mean, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, it's a slow process, and it's a really challenging thing for football. It really is. Just getting into some of the comments here. Damola says, "When is the EPL coming back?" But as I said, it's been let slip by Danny Ceballos. It looks like it's the 20th of June when football will return back. So we're talking about in about a month's time, behind closed doors, there will be football back in the Premier League.
Are they going to be neutral grounds again, or is it still neutral grounds?
It looks like they're starting to move away from this neutral ground things. Abdullah makes a great point. He says Bain players are most at risk and might die. People like Mo Salah, Mahrez, Pogba, and Martial. There has been a disproportionate amount of people of colour that have died from the coronavirus. They're trying to see if there is something in that. They are at risk. They are more at risk if you go by those figures, definitely. Manuel says, bossmen like Claude and Robbie, thank you very much for that. And Alfred, watching all the way from Nairobi in Kenya. I don't know what it's like over there, but good luck to you. Ben Cookie, he says Kroenke has a 32,000-acre property ranch in Texas and moans at investing in Arsenal. Now, we had last night on the show, Claude, we had Matty from the Magpie channel, the Newcastle channel, and he was talking about, how that deal, the takeover is almost complete, and how the Saudi Arabian, guys who are taking over are worth 282 billion. And they've already made it clear that they're looking to bring in some of the biggest players in the world. They're going to be, I mean, we got to get our act together, innit, Claude?
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I mean, they are relaxing the FFP rules, aren't they, now?
They're relaxing that, so that means they can go and spend.
Yeah, I mean, they can. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They can spend the money, but will Kroenke then decide to spend?
Well, what do you think?
No, it's been relaxed. Well, there's no excuse now, is there? If it's been relaxed.
What do you? What do you think?
Well, what do I think? I think we need to spend, but what we need to do is we have to. It's all right spending it, but spend it on the right players. It's no good throwing money at rubbish. You know what I'm saying? So if Kroenke does decide to throw, say, £100 million, it's got to be spent on the right players. You get where I'm coming from.
Claude,
and the recruitment's got to be right.
Claude, as these guys were saying last night, it's worrying times for Arsenal, right? Because the big spenders now are rolling in. You've already got we know obviously there's Liverpool, there's Man United, there's Chelsea, there's now you're going to have Newcastle now joining that. Everton, you've got loads of money as well. Wolves, Leicester. If Arsenal don't start spending and start, like you said, spending on the right players, but also start spending and also managing to keep hold of our best players, we could find ourselves slipping. Top 6 might be our ask.
Yeah, but I think we've got some good young players as well coming through. Really are really good. We've got. I'm hearing today. I heard something today about Aubameyang apparently doing an extension on his deal. A year extension, possibly 2, if we qualify for the Champions League. That's good news, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, we do.
No, this is good. This is good information. Listen to me. I know this is very good information.
Good information from who?
Right. I can't reveal it, but I'm just telling you now. I've heard this.
Hold on, who told you that?
Like you did with it last year. When was it when we done that walk? And you wouldn't reveal certain things. I can't reveal this one either because it's a very private conversation. But all I'm trying to say to you, apparently it's he signed a 1-year extension with the option of another year if Arsenal qualify for the next Champions League.
So he signed it.
He's about to sign a 1-year extension.
He's about to sign this. He's
Well,
about
a 1 year extension.
So hold on, wait a minute. What have I got here? All right, wait. Breaking news. Claude has something to tell us all. Right, say that again.
It's a 1-year extension, right? Going into with the option of going into another year if Arsenal qualify for the Champions League next season. There we go.
So he's signing a 1 year. So 1 year extension.
And that deal saves, helps Arsenal as well because they'll keep him at Arsenal for another year, and it also they can get if he decides to go at the end of next, they still get some more money for him. They still get money for him.
Come on, which source revealed this to you?
I can't reveal. I can't. This is very secretive. I can't.
Come on, tell us.
No. I can't tell you, but I heard it. I heard it from. Let's put it this way. This is very.
If this don't come true, you know. If this doesn't,
I'm telling you, come on. It's not plugged, by the way. No plug. There's no plug. No plug. No plug. No. The plug has been fully taken out of the fucking socket, mate.
The plug.
There's no plug. Okay. The plug's been out of the socket for a while, mate.
Oh no! Claude Are you
probably
sure?
Troops knows him because Troops knows him well. Probably Troops knows about it as well because Troops is close to the player. But so I don't know. It wasn't from Troops, but it's a 1 year extension, right? So with a possibility of a second year, but the second year depending on Arsenal qualifying for the Champions League.
So when's this going to be announced then?
Well, you have to wait. I'm afraid it's not going to be announced yet. But this is something I heard in the last couple of days, my friend. I can't tell you who it is, mate. Sorry, mate.
You better. You know what? Right? You've just said that to the thousands of people that are watching this. Yeah. You better come through. You know what it's like. They're very unforgiving if these things don't come off. If we see him on his way to Inter Milan or something like that, I mean, you. Now, Claude, come on. Credibility is.
No, I'm telling you, this is what I heard from this guy, and this guy's quite knowledgeable, and he's got it a lot of it. He's got a lot of stuff right. Everything he's got right. He's never got anything wrong. So wait and see.
I know Driller says Claude sauce is Heinz ketchup. Claude, serious. I hope you're right on this one because that would be a very good, very, very good news for Arsenal. And it would make a
1 year extension, possibly going into 2 if they qualify. What he's saying, I'll give it another year, and then if we qualify for the Champions League, because he loves the football club. He does love the football club, but he's got ambitions as well, you know.
All right. Well, Claude, listen, if you get this one right, you will officially get the tag, the voice of reason. Yeah. So if you get this one right, we'll give you that tag. If you get it wrong, Kyle B says Claude's sauce is at the bottom of a wine bottle.
I'll let you know I'm on orange juice tonight, by the way. I'm on orange juice. Look, orange juice.
Right, Charles Johnson says Claude knows the snitch in the dressing room. Do you know who that is then? What else do you know? Do you know who?
I know the 3 players were.
All right, come on in. Come on in.
Nah.
Come on.
One, you'd be shocked.
Come on in.
No.
Come on, Claude, man. All right, give us one of them then.
No.
Give us one of them. Give us one of them. What are you being
all I say is a player you don't want to lose. It's a player you don't want to lose. Anyway, let's leave that. Let's leave it at that. I'm not saying nothing. It's a player you don't want to lose.
All right, is it a striker?
I'm not saying no more. Come on, let's go. Carry on. No. Come on. I'm not. There's no interrogation here, mate. Come on, let's carry on.
All right, is it
Next,
a defender?
next subject.
Defender?
One
Come on, man.
defender,
Come on, Claude, man. Look how long we go way back. Come on.
No, it's not you. It's this lot. Yeah.
He's trying to dodge.
I might tell you what the
All right. Chadwick says if Ozil stays, we can make him useful and be Gunnosaurus. That's a bit harsh. The way Arsenal could get that way, Arsenal could get something out of him. That's a bit harsh. That is a bit harsh. Charles says hi, Robbie.
He does divide the fan base, and he Ozil.
Yeah, definitely. Charles says hi, Robbie. In as much as I would want Kroenke to sell, I wouldn't want to be Dangote because he is a tool of a bad government in Nigeria, having monopoly of the market. Kelechi should know about this. So, not a recommendation.
No, he's a good mate, Kelechi. Kelechi is a nice guy. So,
at the end of the day, Charles, I don't think you're gonna. If you was to go through all of these billionaire owners, a bit like what Matty said last night, a lot of them have sort of got a bit of a skeleton in the cupboard. So, you know, if you was to, I think if they were to be really strict on all of them, there'd probably be none of them in charge of a club. So, but I hear you on that. I hear you. I don't know enough about that, but I hear you on that. If that's what you're saying. No context marks G. Why are you avoiding the camera for now? Ever since you've dropped that thing, you're trying to avoid dodging the camera now.
Who?
Yeah, you.
No, go on. No, I'm not drawing the camera. Ask what? Woodward.
He says, Claude, ask Woodward if we're signing Sancho or Werner. Go on then.
Werner's more likely to go Liverpool. Werner's more likely to go Liverpool. Sancho is definitely going Man United.
Where do you hear that from now?
No, that's my angle.
Pineapple the Fruit Dude says, vodka and orange. Come on.
Oh, no, come off it now. No. I've given up on that. I'm going dry now for the next 3 months. I've got to go dry. So I won't be drinking anything for 3 months now.
So you know what? Let's just go back to what you said, Claude, because that is listen. If the, I'm not going to ask you no more about who told you, but if that's true, that's going to be big for Arsenal because
it's the sort of deal I would have expected actually because that gives because the club ain't going to replace him, are they? Like he's not an easy player to replace. They need him to stay, and I think that's the only option. So at least then they can get their money. Because if they run him out to the end of this, they won't get no money for him. It'll be free, isn't it? So that keeps everyone happy. Isn't it? But
well, it would be.
We need to qualify for next season's Champions League.
Yeah,
for him to extend it.
I must admit, I mean, I've been hearing for a while that he wants to sign, right? But you know what it's like. You hear this, you hear that. But if he does sign, as I said, for the fact that this has been going on for so long, it would be brilliant to have that news, especially if it was before we kicked back off the season and we knew that he was staying. That would be fantastic news. So I hope that does happen. What about what did you think today when you heard the story about this the rumored swap deal between Lacazette and Lamar?
Oh, ridiculous! Absolutely ridiculous. But this is another thing I got. As I said, I'd rather have the singer. What is it?
The singer Lamar.
If we're going to let Lacazette go, why can't we say, look, you want Lacazette to Atletico Madrid? We want one of your players. We don't want someone you don't want. We want be ruthless and say we want Thomas Partey. Why do we want another wide player? We've got Reece Nelson, we've got Saka, we've got Pepe. You know what I mean? What do we need another wide player for? Ridiculous.
Wouldn't make no sense. Peace Love says he's on Claude 9. He's saying about you, Claude. They still can't believe the news. Nathan Roy says, deluded Robbie. He's always on my case, Nathan Roy. He says, deluded Robbie, lack of threat, as he likes to call him, hasn't scored an away goal against a Premier League side in 2 years. We as fans love mediocrity, but he has scored. You know, I was saying to Claude even before that, you know, a lot of people have been dissing Lacazette, and we were saying this off air. You know, I mean, he's got a good goal scoring record for Arsenal. He's 44 goals in.
It's only the last year. He's been poor. I mean, other than that, it wasn't the season before when he played our Player of the Year.
Player of the Year, yeah. Now all of a sudden he's lack of threat.
So,
no,
this is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Rowan says Claude's source is.
Yeah, all right. You keep. I want these people to come back after in the summer. I'll be waiting.
Aline says, no Lamar at Arsenal, thank you. I don't get the Lamar links because he's got.
I don't mind it, as long as if he can sing at half time. Yeah, the better entertainment than what they get at the moment at half time. Yeah. Yeah, that's got to change. The half time entertainment at Arsenal. God, that's got to change as well. Oh. Yeah,
Lamar.
Anyway, let's carry on, mate.
I'm not feeling Lamar. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is, remember, we were about to buy him for like 90 million. Remember that? 90 million we were going to pay for Lamar. Jesus, imagine if.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if that was true though. And that was a few years back, wasn't it? And look, he hasn't gone forward. You don't. Ever since then, how many big clubs have got in for him since then?
None.
He's suddenly a player that don't want anymore.
Yeah. Given Edgar says Arsenal became lazy when they signed Xhaka to replace Santi. We need to change that immediately. Otherwise, we will always cry for a midfielder. Again, Claude, we were talking about that earlier. That midfield seems to be the area of real weakness for Arsenal. It seems to be a strong area.
I think the midfield is as poor as the back as poor as the back's been. The midfield doesn't help it by being really poor. Torreira's unsettled. He wants to go, doesn't he? Torreira wants to go, apparently. Ceballos is talking about going back. So we do need reinforcements. Yeah,
definitely.
There was talk of a player that they were going to put in with Guendouzi in the midfield. What is it? I don't know.
From PSG. Who's now he was at PSG, who's now at Juventus. Oh gosh, my mind gone now. But yeah, they're talking about bringing him in, and again, he's a pretty controversial figure. You know, I mean, he's a guy that's, you know, I'm not too sure if a lot of Arsenal fans would. You know, I was asking a couple the other day about whether they'd be up for him coming in, and the message seemed to be, you know, Adrian Rabiot it was who I was thinking of, and the message from a lot of fans was no, they don't really want Rabiot at the club. So, but I rate him. I think he's a good player, but we've got to sort that midfield out because that is a real area at the moment that's really concerning. And you know, and it's weird because over the years we've always been very strong in midfield, but at the moment, you know, it's just not.
We've got some good young players coming through as well. I mean, Smith Rowe's going to be a player to come through as well. He's going to be good, I think. We've got some good young players, mate, but they just need to be given the chance. It's not just about buying players; it's also about getting these young players through.
Ian Wood says Arsenal bid for Lamar to appease the fans at the last minute when he was training with France. With no time for a medical. He doesn't fit Madrid's style of play as they defend a lot. So that's true. Maybe if he played for a more offensive team, that might suit his style because it's true, Atletico Madrid are a very defensive team. Lesser Fan Opinion says, favourite Arsenal player, Claude? In the current, you know what? Favourite current player and favourite ever player?
My favourite ever player was Rocky. I love Rocky. Yeah. Rocky Rocastle. My current player. I'd say Aubameyang.
Aubameyang, all right. Iceman says, any scoop on the streets about Saka? Come on then, Claude.
There's another one that apparently he's. I heard yesterday that he's very near to signing a contract for Arsenal.
So
new contract. So he's another one. No, forgot about that. Yeah. He's very close to signing. He's another one that will be signing, definitely.
That's the same source, yeah?
Yeah. Because he's got 1 year left, apparently. He's got 1 year left.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he's another one that's about to sign. So him and Bamian are definitely ones that will be here next season.
And you are definite about
this?
Definite.
No, 100%. 100%.
100%.
He'll be here next season, Saka. 100% Saka will be here next season.
All right, so on the both rumors, on both things.
100%. Yeah. 100%. And if this guy's telling me bullshit, I'll be looking for him again. I'll even put him out. I'll put him out to dry as well. Don't worry about that.
Snitch. Marco says Lamar is technically brilliant, far better than we have, bar Ozil. I remember Henry and Bergkamp being called flops after their first moves. That's true, because remember when they came, they hadn't worked out for them at the big club. So that is a great point that he makes there.
Then it took a while, but we always knew Dave. Henry, you could see Henry. He was just a matter of time. I think with both players, but they both. I know they were slow out.
I think what but I think the point the guy's making, right, is that when we bought both of those players, they'd both gone to like big clubs and flopped, in it. Like I think Bergkamp had gone to Inter, he flopped, and Henry was at Juventus, he flopped.
I think Dennis struggled in Italy because they're more of especially then they were very, very defensive-minded teams, weren't they? In Italy, it didn't suit his style of play. But when he came to Arsenal,
point to what the other guy was making earlier, where he's saying with Lamar, he was playing at a very defensive team in Atletico Madrid. So maybe if he did leave, maybe we could see the better of him.
Oh well, yeah, maybe, yeah, he might have a point there.
As you said, we do have a lot of players in those areas. Arnav says Smith Rowe is better than Mount. I somehow got free tickets to a Huddersfield game, and I saw him, and he's quality. He's a good player, Smith Rowe.
Yeah, so he's going to be. He is. You can see he's one really for the future. I mean, and you look at what players we've got: Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Saka. These are players that are really developing, but we need to develop them properly. And I'm hoping that this coaching staff will get them going. And I think that it's not just about buying players. We've got some really good young players. There's that guy also, but I've not seen him play, but I've got a lot of good reports about him. Balogun, is it Balogun?
Yeah.
Someone told me he's a really good prospect as well. So there's some, yeah.
Source.
There's a good young players coming through.
What did your source say about him?
No, this is a guy that watches the under 23s. He said he's really top quality. That Balogun, yeah.
Jim says, Claude, you are a legend. What is your favourite game since Wenger left?
Yeah, favourite game since Wenger left. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think there hasn't been that many great games.
That is a hard question, though.
That is hard.
Since Wenger left, I know. Favorite game since Wenger left is when we beat Tottenham at the Emirates. That game with Torreira.
Oh yeah, sorry. The 4-2. That was incredible. That was brilliant.
Comeback. That was brilliant. Yeah,
especially when the second half. The goal by about the one where the equaliser to make it 2-2 from Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was sensational, wasn't it?
The brilliant.
That was sensational. Yeah, that
had everything a North London derby you want out of a North London derby. It was fiery. Remember they had like they were nearly had a fight over by the touch. Yeah. It had everything that game. They had goals. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Can you imagine as well an Arsenal Tottenham game now this season when they played?
Well, yeah, we still got to play.
Hey? That's what I'm saying. It's going to be they've got no fans in the ground.
Yeah.
It ain't right, is it? That's right. It's not right.
Yeah. No, we remember right.
And also the FA Cup final. The FA Cup final day out. That's the day out for the fans. And then there will be no one at the FA Cup final at Wembley.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Rohan,
right,
is it? It don't seem right, is it?
No, I don't. It don't. Rohan said if Claude is right, then he should do Transfer Daily Show on AFTV. And he says keep up the good.
Do a better job than this one.
Well, if you get that right.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that? When was it? A few years ago? Teddy Bishop. Oh my God. What happened to him then? Your mate Teddy Bishop. Do you remember?
No.
He was at Ipswich. He linked him at Arsenal. I've never seen him again. He's playing for Canvey Island now.
Listen, what was it? Hold on, wait. There was a rumour that you came with last year. What was it again? What was the one you came with?
I don't do rumours normally. This is very rare.
What was the one? The one that you came with? You put it all over Twitter and you put it all over everywhere that he's definitely coming. Who was it again?
No. I don't for ages, man. No.
And then you tried to blame it on the plug. After you put it out there.
The plug told me. That's why I don't do it anymore. I don't listen to that. It wasn't the play. It was that he made me put out Allegri.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I remember at the time you said
the bloody plug.
And I kept saying to you, who told you? And you're like, I don't want to say it. All the same things you're doing now. And that
plug, isn't it? And then he came on. You remember when he came on your chat on your outside the ground? Oh, definitely got done. It's all done, dusted, all done. On your remember outside the ground.
I remember you. What I remember you saying it's definitely same for like what you said today, 100%. And who's in charge now? Not Allegri, right?
Yeah, I know.
Trent Singh says, how does Claude, know that his source is the truth? He said, moving like the plug. Don't choose to die on his sword. How do you know? How do you know?
I'm wrong, but I mean, we'll see.
The thing is, even I see the one that you were saying about the players, the other two players. I've heard a little rumor as well. Like I've been told by someone about who these other two players are as well. But then you don't know 100%. So that's what I mean. I ain't said nothing to anybody. DT was trying to get it out of me the other day. I haven't said nothing to anybody, but I was told that these two other players.
There's definitely a troublemaker in the dressing room because a lot of these things are coming out.
Well, it looks like that person knows you because they're giving you the information.
There's definitely a troublemaker in the dressing room. Because a lot of these, I mean, even Balloongate. I mean, that was done in private. I mean, that got out as well. Oh, Balloongate.
What do you make of the Balloongate thing?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Robbie, if he was scoring goals and regularly, he could blow enough balloons for a kid's party. So I don't give a shit. So you know what I'm saying? So
Alpha X test.
It's not. I don't even think it's illegal, is it?
No, it's not. It's not actually illegal, but it's not good either. You know,
they're doing it down Seven Sisters Road every night, doing that. I don't know what the game out there.
They're not professional footballers, are they? They're not professional footballers at the end of the day. He shouldn't be doing that.
He done it in his own private. Someone snitched him up there because that was in private, wasn't it? He done that, and someone's obviously done him up. But I don't think. I mean, if he's going to leave the football club, it's good for footballing, really, not because of that. You know what I'm saying?
Alpha says, Claude, are we signing Partey? Yeah, ask Claude now. He knows. I mean, he knows.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know about Partey. I'll have a party if he does sign, though.
Oh, all transfer. It's just like pure transfer rumors coming in. Do you realise that if you do get this right, you're going to really, you're really going to go up in.
Oh, I got it right about Emery, didn't I? Everyone's no, keep him on, keep him on. Oh.
The Alsbrad says, "Hi Robbie, I have confidence on what Claude says. I believe Aubameyang will stay."
Yeah, he's staying.
Shrey says, Don Robbie, if Laka was such a good player, why would Atletico, a better team at the moment, want him? Over the past 5 years, who has been better at recruiting, Atletico or Arsenal? Claude in. Well, yeah. Atletico, if you remember rightly, Shrey, well, is he saying he's a bad player, or is he saying, because Atletico wanted Lacazette before we got him, and the only reason we got him over Atletico was the fact that they had a transfer ban. So yes, they do know a good player. They do get it wrong sometimes, or Lamar hasn't worked out for them. But I hear what you're saying on that. Alim says we need more midfielders. Ceballos is on loan and likely to leave from Madrid. Ozil is finished. Xhaka is getting old. Speculation on Torreira. That means we are left with Guendouzi. Willock. Don't forget Willock.
Yeah, no, but he's not old, Jack. He's just not, to me, not. I don't know, but he's not old.
As says, swap Stan Kroenke for Nasser Al Khalifa. Arsenal owner for the PSG owner. I'll do that swap tomorrow, right? If it could be done.
Yeah. It's all very well in coming in if they don't spunk the money on shit players. Yeah. All very well.
Alvin says, difficult question for you guys. Arsenal's best team. I'll get this one for you, Claude. 1998, 2002, or 2004?
You know what? That 98 team, when you think that was a great side. I'm going to go. I don't know. I think it's between. I actually think both these teams, 2002 and 98, are better than the 2004. Even though 2004 got the unbeaten season, I think 2002 was a really good side to watch. And 98 was brilliant because they had Petit and Vieira. And, they were magnificent. You know what I mean? So I'm going to say 98.
I've got to go 2004, just for what they did.
Yeah,
you can't. Yeah. What they did. I hear what you're saying. It was, but
Bergkamp. Remember Bergkamp, Overmars, Petit.
Yeah, it was a great team.
And in the 98 team. Yeah, Overmars, Petit, Anelka. You had all these all at their peak. 2004. I don't think Dennis was coming towards the end, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And 98 was I thought even 2002 was a fantastic team.
Thing is about it.
I'm going to say 98.
Look at the levels, Claude, of those teams and where we are now.
You say 2004. Well, I'll stop you there. 98 achieved more than 2004.
2000
won the double.
Yeah, they won the double.
They won the double. They won the double. 2004 won the title. It don't matter about all this. Don't keep going on about invincibles. 98 won the double.
No.
So 98 is better achievement than 2004. Yes, it is.
No, I think the achievement of going a season unbeaten is better than the double, in my opinion.
No.
Doubles have been won many.
2 trophies are better than one. 2 trophies. It's not easy to win the double. Not many teams have won the double.
It's not easy to win a double, but Claude, it's been done many times, right? How many times has the Invincibles thing been done? You look at this year. That is a bigger achievement.
Even so, with a lot of draws, remember. A lot of draws.
Yeah, but 12
draws.
It doesn't matter about draws.
The teams that won the league with 100 points. That's more of an achievement.
They didn't lose a game. I don't care about the 100 points. They went a whole season without no team beating them home or away.
The whole season, drawing every game in the league and being unbeaten, and you get relegated.
You could what? Sorry.
So don't. There's too much made of this unbeaten.
You could go.
98 was a better team because it won the double.
The double
And
has been
70-71 was a better team.
the double has
70-71 was even better.
The double has been done many times by Arsenal as well. To me, Invincible season has never been, as a matter of fact, the only team that had done it before that was Preston. And if you look at
I'll tell you what,
if you look at
another
Preston,
bigger achievement.
They played about 19 games or something.
Another bigger achievement is 89, because Liverpool at that time were a phenomenal outfit. They were phenomenal. They were, to break that Liverpool team in 89 was an incredible achievement. Incredible. And more incredible than the Invincible, because that Liverpool team, they were probably, in my lifetime, it's probably the best team I've seen, best football team I've seen.
Yeah, they were incredible.
Hey?
They were a great team. Douglas, John Barnes.
No, that Liverpool team that at that time were incredible. Barnes, Houghton, they're a fantastic football team. Fantastic football team.
Didn't go invincible.
We went to Anfield and won the title on their home ground on the last game of the season. I think that title team, to me, when you think about it, right, as well, not the most expensive players either. Our players then, they're all these young players coming through. Yeah, but I'm just saying that
Liverpool team brilliant, but they didn't go the season unbeaten. Chelsea team didn't go the season unbeaten.
They won European Cups, mate. Come on, man. They won European Cups every year. Every 2 years they won European. They were winning European Cups.
This is where
Come
you get.
on, let's give it.
Claude, hold on. This is where you get it. I'm not talking about the European Cup. I'm talking about the Premier League. The guy said best Premier League team, right? They went the season. I'm going off of those two teams that he named, yeah, for Arsenal. They went a season unbeaten. It has not been done since. It wasn't really done before, because even the Preston one, you can't really compare it because
football existed before the Premier League. Football existed before the Premier League.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone going, oh, Premier League. Football existed. In fact,
even before.
In fact, football was more harder in them days because you could challenge. You tapped someone and it went down. In them days, you could actually put a challenge in. So it's harder than days.
Even before then, how many teams went unbeaten? How many teams? And if it's a load of draws, why didn't other teams draw? I'm sorry, that record is. I mean, I don't even like talking about it no more because I want to start talking about modern records. Right?
That's the problem. That's the problem with our fans. We talk too much about the past.
Modern records, but the thing is about it, right, is that it is still something to be proud of because it's never been done. It hasn't been done since. This Liverpool team this season have been absolutely incredible. What a brilliant team. But they didn't do it. You know what I mean? Even when I said Michael...
I still say...
Hold on.
I still say 89, when we won the title against a team that were dominating football in the 80s, yeah, dominating it, football in the 80s, and we went there and won the title at their ground, to me, is the biggest achievement, is a bigger achievement.
When I spoke to... All right, so I spoke to... We had Michael Thomas on the other day, yeah? You scored the winning goal in that game.
Yeah.
And he said to me, right, he goes that... Because remember, the season after that, they won the league again, Arsenal. Right, and they lost one game.
There was a gap. There was Liverpool.
And they lost one game.
That's how good.
But Claude, they lost
when we won. That was even another great side. Another great side.
And you know
one game.
Do you know what he said to me? He goes, boy, they were just so. He goes, he's so gutted that they didn't go the season unbeaten. Right, because he goes, they would have been the first invincible team. It's a big record, man. Big record. So there's nothing wrong with. I just want to hear.
I'll say it again. What European titles, European Champions League for season anytime.
If you're talking about an all-round,
we should have been.
We
should have been the first London club to win that Champions League.
Of course,
we messed it up because we're too always about getting that bloody gold trophy. I would have rather took one defeats and got that Champions League trophy.
Yeah, you probably moan about that. You moan about that. You'd be like,
no, I wouldn't, man. I moaned because I wanted the Champions League. I wanted the Champions League.
You
I
moan
didn't want
about
Chelsea winning it before.
You moan
I'm
about
embarrassed at Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I mean, eh?
I said you
No.
find something to moan about that too. Trent Singh says, "How good was Anelka for us? I've heard stories. That would be interesting.
Top player.
Young to remember, he was brilliant. He was brilliant. If he would have stayed,
I love a great player.
If he would have stayed, Claude, he could have been great.
Oh, I'll never forget that goal he scored at Blackburn in the '98 season. Was it 90? Yeah, that goal when he went up at Blackburn, went the whole end of the pitch and fucking amazing player, amazing. And he done well at Chelsea as well, didn't he? So he didn't do too bad at Chelsea.
You know, he won a lot of trophies. You know, Joel Lockwood says, Claude, who would you rather be tucked up? Who would you rather be tucked up with your missus? Prime Alexis or a prime RVP? Also, can we say that Mikel is the next Brian Clough?
Oh! Brian Clough! Jesus Christ. This is what I'm saying about our fan base. They're already comparing him to Brian Clough. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I've heard it all. As for Alexis, I love both of them. I love both of them in bed with the missus, both of them.
Brian Clough. Jesus.
Mike, if you see the state of my exes, I don't think they would go anywhere near them.
Pieface says it's just a gold trophy instead of silver. Listen to Claude. But as I said, I don't like to keep going on about the invincible thing because what it is that I'm getting annoyed now that that's what we're talking about. But it's a massive achievement. You know, I think it's a massive achievement.
For me, winning the double is a harder achievement than doing what they've done.
Is it?
You have to. Yeah. Oh, how many teams win the double?
Is a harder achievement than going a season invincible. What are you talking about?
Yeah, come on.
What are you talking about?
I think all right, that was. Let's say that you need a lot of luck for to be invincible. A lot of luck involved. But as I said, it depends how you look at it. I look at it. Someone gets 100 points. For me, is a bit better than unbeaten season. But it's a matter of opinion. Let's agree to disagree on it, Robbie, because I know, you're a presenter. As I say, I'm the expert here, so I can understand.
Edward says, laugh out loud. Brian Clough, Arteta, seriously, there is no comparison. I think I've got to agree with Claude on that one. It's way.
He was a genius. He was a genius. Absolute genius. What he done with Nottingham Forest is incredible.
Yeah. He was. He won the champ. Well, what would we call the Champions League now? He won it.
What England done there? I couldn't believe it. They snubbed him for a bloke that weren't even on the list of contenders. Did you see the Brian Clough story?
Yeah.
Where they went for the wrong green. They couldn't. No one could believe it. The wrong Greenwood got the job instead of him.
Yeah, because they never used to like Brian Clough as a troublemaker. He's a guy.
Because he says it as it is,
isn't it? He didn't care. He don't care who he upset. So they didn't. The FA, they don't want people like that. 2 Pixel 2 says, comparing Arteta is a total disrespect to Clough. You cannot be. Listen, Brian Clough. When you talk about Brian Clough, you've got to be talking about him in the same conversation of Ferguson, Wenger. He's a great man. He's Mourinho. He's an absolute great of one of the greatest managers ever in English football. So you can't.
I'd even go as far to say, with the resources he had and the players, he turned. What was it? Kenny Burns was a washed up player, and he turned him into a championship winner. all these players that he turned into went to other clubs. They were absolutely useless, but he turned them into a championship European Cup 2 years running. Come on,
no, you can't.
Actually, to come up from the second division, what is now the championship, and to come straight into the top league and win it in that season, no manager's ever done that.
Yeah. PC Gaming and Tutorials says it pisses me off how Arsenal Invincibles think that they are that amazing, mate. You had 12 draws. There are at least 5 teams better in the Premier League area. What a banter club. Well, why didn't they do it then? That's my question I always got asked anybody who challenges that. If that's true, then have 12 draws there. Have 13. Have 15. But why not do it? And that's the thing that burns a lot of people from other clubs.
I'll tell you what does burn me.
Make their way around it. Oh, you should have won more games than that. No. Why don't someone else do it? Simple as. Right? I mean, if it's that easy. And we see this season how difficult it is. Franklin Goodwin says, all these geeks going on about points. Get a life. No one cares about how many points you get as long as you win the league. Going unbeaten is better. And I agree with that. It's true. At the end of the day, right, it's about winning the league. You don't care whether you scrape it by a point.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you go up. At the end of the day, it's one championship. It's a title.
You don't care whether you win it by a 25-point gap, right? It's about winning the league. And if you can do that without losing a game, and as I said, nobody else has done it. Carol, who would have had even more than 49 undefeated if it not have been for that cheat Rooney, which I agree with 100%.
The biggest cheat that day wasn't Rooney, it was Mike Riley.
Well, cheats. Cheat.
That's the man that's in charge of referees now. Well, just says it all, doesn't it?
Claude, this guy ain't happy with you. This guy ain't happy with you.
Oh, don't worry about him. It's probably sent by that Turkish dwarf that's on the other channel. It's probably sent him.
Ellie says, who was better, Claude? Brian Clough or Bob Paisley? That's a tough one.
Oh, no, Paisley was great, but I still say.
I'd say
no. Paisley was great. Looking at resources that they had as well, I'd say Clough was still the best because the resources. Paisley had a great setup at Liverpool as well.
Cosmo says Man United drew 13 in their treble-winning season.
Yeah, but they won the treble. They won the treble. Don't tell me that unbeaten is better than winning the actual treble. You'd rather win.
No, it's not.
Start worrying, man.
To me, how I always say it, right? It's Claude. I say the best team in the history of the Premier League, in the history of English football, you have to give to that United team because they won the treble. They won the league, they won the FA Cup, and they won the Champions League. You've got to give it to them, right? Even though you've had some great Liverpool teams who've done doubles in winning it, but you've got to give it to them when they won the treble. But if you're talking about the Premier League or the league, the best team has to be the Arsenal one because they did it unbeaten. That's my opinion. Timothy Harry says, yeah, I totally agree with Robbie. If it was that easy, why hasn't anyone else done it? It's true. It's a bit like when, in boxing and you'll see a boxer, yeah, I'll take him out, man. Yeah, he beat this guy. He's a mug. I'm
going to ask you. You're going on about this, right? Would you have taken 1 defeat or 2 defeats if it meant we won the Champions League that year?
Yeah, I would have.
Right. End of story. Thank you.
Yeah, I would have.
You've answered your question.
End of story. Right. Because my comparison.
You've answered it. You've answered it. I'm just trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, I don't know. I keep pushing this up. I would, when you're talking about great teams, ones that can lift the Champions League and the league not just winning the league is I don't know. We'll carry on anyway. Carry on.
Joseph G says Clough worked miracles. Arteta can't beat a bunch of Greek waiters. Claude is the voice of reason.
Oh yeah. Don't get me started.
By the way, you sure that's orange juice?
Hey?
You sure that's orange juice?
Yeah, a little bit of vodka in there.
Oh yeah. Now here, that's the sauce. That's the sauce coming
out. No. So you wait. Another great manager. Yeah.
Views on Don Revy.
Another great manager. Not the same, but still a good manager. I mean, that Leeds team was a phenomenal team in the 70s.
Who's the greatest manager of all time in British football?
Me? I'd say Brian Clough. If you can pound for pound, I'd go Brian Clough.
Brian Clough. Nah, you got to go. You have to go Fergie.
Maybe I go Ferguson, but I think Clough, with the resources that he had, he didn't have, and he had to put a team together with a lot of players that were struggling elsewhere. John McGovern, Kenny Burns, Larry Lloyd struggled everywhere else they went. They're not some really good player. John Robertson was a great player.
Yeah. Last couple we're going to do now because we're running out of time. Franklin Goodwin said Claude is only saying this because it was a Wenger team that did it. I doubt he would be saying that if it was a George Graham team.
Yeah, maybe. No, I don't. See, this is what I'm saying. Oh, rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
You didn't answer that, though.
What's that?
You didn't answer that, though, did you?
If it was a George, no, I stand by what I'm saying. I'm just, it's a matter of opinion. I think winning the double is more. It's 2 trophies on the board. At the end of the day, that was the title one. And 89, as I say it again, 89 was an incredible achievement because Liverpool were absolutely an outstanding team then.
Yeah, they were.
To go to their home ground and win it on their home ground as well, mate.
And we have to win.
I think they're showing highlights on that on Saturday, aren't they?
Had to win it by 2 clear goals as well. Remember, remember that. So
exactly, no, and even that team we had there weren't full of expensive players. A good young team. It was a young team we had then as well.
Yeah. Claude for Arsenal manager, says this guy. We're going to do this one as the last one. It's right off topic. It's right off football topic. But John G says, AJ or Fury, who wins the scrap, Rob or Claude? So who wins, AJ or Fury? I asked Coogan this the other night. He sat on the fence. Who are you going for?
I've got a funny feeling that no, I think Fury will beat him. I think Fury will beat him.
Yeah, it's such a hard.
I'm not a big fan of AJ. I just feel he's limited to me. I don't know.
Do you know what? Up until that last fight, I was always saying AJ. I was always saying AJ will win it, but after seeing what Fury did to Deontay Wilder in that last fight, for me, I'd have to go edge Fury. He was, to go to America and do what he did. Honestly, I was like so impressed. So for me, Fury would be the favourite. He's a
lot of weight, didn't he? In the build up to the fight.
Yeah. He's focused on it now. I mean, they're both. I can't wait to see that fight because it's so hard to call.
Do you think it'll happen, though? Do you reckon it'll happen? Do you reckon it will happen?
Coogan the other night said it will definitely, once the lockdown and everything's done, he reckons it will definitely happen. It's too big not to.
That's another thing that will suffer with no spectators boxing.
Yeah. Coogan was saying that boxing's taking a hit at the moment, but they're looking to get that back on track. But let's hope everything can get back on track. Thanks for watching the show tonight.
My boys have been doing UFC watch-alongs, and they say this. Even the UFC thing, it's not the same.
Yeah, beyond it hasn't. Claude, thank you very much for tonight. It's always a pleasure. It always flies. And thanks.
It's always great coming on here and winning an argument. I love it. I always win the arguments on here.
And the revelation that, let's not forget what Claude said tonight, right? Do not forget that on this show, breaking news, Claude announced that his source has told him that
Aubameyang will be here next season.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will definitely be here next season. He'll be signing a 1-year extension to his contract with an option to stay another year if Arsenal make it into the Champions League. And also he announced that Saka is definitely going to be signing a new contract. So let's hope that your source is right and you don't end up getting ruined. Let's hope it's not another plug. We'll see. We'll see, Claude. But thank you very much, man. I love the banter tonight. And thanks to everybody else. Don't forget, we'll be back in the morning with AFTV News Daily, the early edition.